Hey friends, it's Taylor and I'm coming at you with part 2 of my book haul that I've been collecting my books over the past few months that I plan on stockpiling and taking up north when I move to the territories. Which, speaking of moving to the territories, the first book I have is a book all about where I will be moving to. It's a little like kids type book if it will focus in like really big font, but it's at least to start getting to know where I'll be living a little bit better. Most of these books I picked up from Book Outlet, and I don't really remember a lot of the synopses, whatever we want to call multiples of synopses. So I'll mostly just be showing you the book, the cover, the author, tell you what I was thinking when I picked it up, and yeah. And don't forget, if you haven't checked out part 1 of my video, I will have it linked down below, where I did a whole other book haul of on the half of the books basically that I've gone, and there are a lot of books. So let's continue on with this part of the book haul. So up next, I picked up My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. And I actually think this is going to be a series, and I think the second part of it is coming out in the summer. I was looking up summer releases, and something similar caught my eye, but it's kind of like a historical fiction from what I know, so I decided to pick it up. And along that theme of historical fictions, I then picked up and somehow ended up with 2 copies. This is what happens when you put in multiple orders on one site and don't keep track of what you're getting. But I picked up, will it focus? I picked up Haiti Ever After, Haiti Ever After? I don't really know how to say it, by Kim Kirby Larson, and this is a historical fiction, so I thought I would give it a go. And like I said, I got 2 copies, why not? Now the next book is kind of historical fiction, kind of not, and this is Glitter by April Leanne Pike. I think that's how I say it. So the synopsis sounded kind of interesting. So it takes place in Versailles, so that is in France, because King Louis was the prince, right, king of France. My history's not that good. But so everyone that lives in Versailles lives back in like the 1800s type styles, but people outside don't. It is modern times outside of this palace of Versailles, and our main character, I believe, ventures outside the palace, and yeah, it sounded like a pretty interesting story, kind of unique how inside Versailles they're living like it's the 18th, 19th century, but outside it's modern times. So I thought that was kind of cool, and it would be interesting to know a little bit more why it is the way that it is like that. Now, since I'll be moving to the territories of Canada and living in a hamlet, not even a town, a hamlet, so smaller, there's no bookstore or even a library as far as I know, so the next few books I picked up in mind, keeping that I want to read them in October because they just had, in my opinion, a Halloween vibe, or kind of just like creepiness to it, so I will share those with you. First up, I have Worlds of Ink and Shadow by Leanne Cockley, and even just the cover to me gives weird creepy vibes, so I picked it up. And along the same lines, I have A Madness So Discreet by Mindy McGinnis. Again, even the cover looks kind of creepy to me, so I thought it would go perfect for Halloween. Then, keeping that Halloween vibe, to me, fairy tales are pretty prominent at Halloween, just like dressing up in fairy tales and stuff. So I picked up a tale, sorry, that's the song, As Old as Time, and it's a retelling of Beauty and the Beast with a twist. And it says, What if Belle's mother cursed the beast? And this is by Lisa Bronswell. So it's a twisted tale. So I thought, you know, fairy tales, in my opinion, are a Halloween type thing, but this has a twist on it, so maybe a little darkness going into here. So I thought it would be the perfect October read. Then I picked up something that's very popular on most booktubers, so I want to get in that hype, and that's the first book in, I think it's a duology, but this is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. And from what I know about this, I actually don't know a whole lot. I know it has to do with like the Grim Reaper and the way people die in this type of world. At least I think that's what this book has to do about. I could be completely off, not gonna lie. But all of those things to me tie into what could be a really great October read, or honestly just a read anytime. For some reason this cover is giving me like fall vibes, so definitely I plan on picking this up sometime this year before Christmas. So like I mentioned, to me Halloween and October have a lot to do with fairy tales, and I will be honest, I'm not a huge like princess fan. I never was, but my favorite princess is actually, and she's not a princess, I know, but my favorite fairy tale, let's go with that, and who I think should be a princess, is Little Red Riding Hood. So this is the Once Upon a Time Red's Untold Tale. I love Red and Once Upon a Time. Don't want to give any spoilers away, so we'll say that much. But I don't know what it is about Little Red Riding Hood. I absolutely love her. And it is my go-to Halloween costume, just that little red cape my mom made, and we had a little bandana and basket, and it was great. So I am so excited to get into this. Also, the pages have like the painted black on the edges, which I thought was really cool. So it's a beautiful cover, and I love Little Red Riding Hood, so I'm so excited to get to this. And I love Once Upon a Time, love the show, and Red is definitely my favorite character on there, next to Mulan, who is, I guess, technically my favorite princess, if we're gonna go there, but those are my two favorites. But keeping the spirit of Little Red Riding Hood, I simply picked this up because the cover reminded me of Little Red Riding Hood, and this is Kin by Lily St. Crow, which I actually forgot to say. This is by Wendy Tolliver, the first Little Red Riding Hood book that I picked up. This one has a werewolf on it and the girl in a red cape, so, or I shouldn't assume it's a werewolf, a wolf on it. So to me it speaks Little Red Riding Hood, but I'd have to read the book to find out, so we'll see about that. And I think I got about 2 more Halloween October reads that I picked up for myself. The first just being, again, a super creepy read, because it's October, why not scare myself when I'm gonna live by myself in the middle of nowhere? Good idea, don't you think? We'll see how it goes. But I picked up The Third Twin by CJ, it's covering Omaliolu. My sister was like, that's impossible, this makes no sense. I can't remember what this is about, but it sounded just creepy, and even, or maybe not creepy, it sounded unusual, which to me, again, October, Halloween, unusual creepy things happen, so I picked up this book, thought it would tie in great to that theme. And then the last October Reads book that I picked up is This Monstrous Thing. Can't speak apparently, but this is by Mackenzie Lee. This gave me just like Frankenstein vibes. Halloween, Frankenstein, October. See where my logic was. So I believe that's it for the books I picked up specifically for October, but who knows, we might find a few more in this pile. Moving on to a book that I read, and it's part of a series that I absolutely loved as a kid, and I want to collect them all. So I picked up Pies and Prejudice by Heather Vogel Frederick, and this is part of the Mother-Daughter Book Club series, which I really liked. It's a middle grade book in my opinion. I wouldn't classify it as YA. It's kind of like in between middle grade and YA. If there was a genre, this book would definitely be right in the middle of it. But I love the series. I have one other of them, if not 2, somewhere. My books are all over this house for moving to university. But I love the series, and I do plan on actually picking up all of them, just because I think they were so cute, they're so great, and I want to keep them for when I have kids one day. Regardless of if I have a daughter or not, this will be read by my kids one day. So yeah, I picked that up to start my collection off. Then let's see, what do we got here? We have what I'm calling a middle grade book. It didn't really tell me if it was YA or middle grade, but reading the synopsis definitely sounds middle grade, and this is Selling Hope by Kirsten O'Donnell Tube. This sounds like a interesting book. Our main character takes advantage of the fact that there's a comet going to be approaching Earth, like in that you know, you can see it, so it's predicted, and they're starting to sell these fake pills to prevent people from dying from the comet. So they're kind of doing a little scheme there, but it sounded kind of cute and interesting, so I thought I'd give it a go. And then another, just hitting everything. And then another popular book on YouTube is Caravelle by Stephanie Garber. I'm so bad at authors' names. But anyways, this is Caravelle. I know there's definitely polarizing opinions about Caravelle, so I want to give it a go myself. I don't know a whole lot about it. Some people have compared it to The Night Circus, which I have on my pile of books that I've been collecting that I hauled last time. Not last time, but last time. And I thought I would give it a go. Like I said, it's popular on BookTube, so I've definitely been picking up more popular BookTube books to kind of get in the know of what's going on. And speaking of popular BookTube books, I picked up the first in what I believe is a duology by Victoria Schwab, and that is The Savage Song. And again, I don't know anything about this book, but that it's popular, and it's Victoria Schwab and people like her. Then I picked up Duels and Deception by Cindy Anstey, and this kind of had a little mystery, thriller, and historical fiction, classic kind of feeling to me, so I thought it'd be interesting to have all that wrapped up into one book, so I picked it up. Then I have 4 more books to show you all that I picked up. The first being Carpe Diem by Autumn Cornwell. I think I'm going to pick this up this summer. It has to do with travel, not your typical travel, as our main character is this really high-achieving girl. She does, so great in school. Her parents put a lot of pressure on her, though, according to her aunt, and her aunt somehow blackmails her family, so her niece, our main character, can go on a trip to Southeast Asia and kind of take a break from this really uptight, perfectionist, striving life that she is living. But I think travel are great, or travel-themed elements in a book are really cool ones to read during the summer, just because it's the time of travel, in my opinion. So I do think I'll be picking this up before I move up north. Then, the last few are kind of more contemporary books that I picked up. Just the synopsis sounded good when I read it at the time. Like I said, I don't remember them really right now because I ordered these a long time ago. But you always can use some more contemporary, and you go through phases of reading fantasy for so long, then you need some contemporary, or you just need to switch it up. So yeah, I picked up some contemporary. The first one I have is Boy 21 by Matthew Quick. And the other contemporary YA book I got is Naked by Stacy Trombelli. And last is actually a book that I might pick up this October, going back to my October creepy, weird, strange Halloween reads, and that is Hexed by Michelle Cries. I think the cover just screams, read me in October, so I probably will. So that is the end of all the books. I have one last thing to show you that actually my mom picked out for me, which was so sweet, and that are some reading socks. And I'm going to try to zoom in closer on these. It has some mountains, canoe, waves with a little buoy in them, and a bear, and a campfire, and this is just me in a pair of socks, and they're reading socks, so these are me in a pair of reading socks, if that was ever possible, but it's been done. So I hope you have enjoyed this 2-part book haul. I hope you watched the first part, I believe 2 weeks ago is when I put it up. I think I put a little video, my anticipated summer books in between. And I hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let me know maybe some December books or other fall books I should be checking out that I should pick up before I leave and move up north. I'd love to hear your suggestions. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you're having the best day ever, and I will see you next time. Bye!